This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only.
How does this crisis look if you live in Beirut or Bethlehem, Gaza or Haifa? Mosaic Special Report. Insight into the Middle East.
Hello and welcome to Mosaic Insight into the Middle East. I'm Jamal Dajani, producer of Mosaic World News from the Middle East. We have been bringing you reports that you do not normally see in the mainstream media from more than 24 broadcasters in the region. Every week on Mosaic Insight, we attempt to shed some light on important stories and highlight the nuances of the varied coverage. Earlier this week, you saw the horrific images from the southern Lebanese village of Kana, where more than 60 civilians perished due to Israeli bombing of the building where they took refuge.
Nearly 20 children were killed. My cousin, his wife, and his 5 children were also killed. My family and 5 of my siblings were also killed. I do not have anyone left except my cousin, my father, and 1 brother. Thanks a lot to Condoleezza Rice for doing this to us. Our homes were destroyed. We don't have a home anymore.
Many analysts thought that this horrible event would hasten the call for a ceasefire at the UN Security Council. However, the war in Lebanon has entered its 4th week and the number of casualties is on the rise. In the fog of war, there seems to be conflicting reports concerning the military gains. While Israeli government officials have claimed on many occasions that they have destroyed more than half of Hezbollah's capabilities, they were unable to prevent the barrage of Hezbollah rockets from reaching deep into Israel. We have been monitoring the different channels covering the region and have been seeing conflicting reports on Israeli operations conducted in Lebanon, such as the commando operation on a hospital in Baalbek, where Israel had claimed to have captured Hezbollah high-ranking operatives, to be later dismissed by Hezbollah as being a failed operation based on poor intelligence.
I think Hezbollah has been disarmed by the military operation of Israel to a large degree. That can't be measured only by the number of missiles that they still shoot. The infrastructure of Hezbollah has been entirely destroyed.
I do not want to leave anything for analysis. As long as the enemy says that he is looking into taking matters to the next level, then he should hear me loud and clear today. If you strike our capital, we will strike the capital of your aggressive entity. If you strike Beirut, then the Islamic resistance will strike the city of Tel Aviv. The resistance is capable of doing that with God's help and His will.
Meanwhile, there is a rift between official government policies and popular Arab street sentiment toward the war in Lebanon. U.S. officials describe this war as a war on terror, claiming that there is evidence that Arab allies were beginning to understand the need for routing out terrorist organizations which threatened regional stability. Israeli officials went further, claiming that Saudi Arabia, Egypt and Jordan understood that this was the first step in a wider Shiite-Sunni conflict in the Middle East. The growing disconnect is exemplified by the numerous demonstrations expressed support for Lebanon and the Shiite movement Hezbollah in many capitals. In Iraq, thousands proclaimed their support for Hezbollah while chanting anti-US and anti-Israel slogans. In Yemen, protesters denounced the impotence of Arab leaders and the Arab League. In Cairo, demonstrators shouted, "Tell Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah, we are all Hezbollah." Meanwhile, many analysts in the region fear that Lebanon will become the new Iraq, where both sides lose and the whole area drowns along with them. I'm Jamal Dajani for Mosaic. To learn more about the Middle East, subscribe to our Mosaic Intelligence Report at linktv.org/mir.
This program was brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only U.S. television network devoted to global and national news, with uncompromising documentaries and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world.